Pakistan, 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 India, India, Indian, India, Indians, Indians. Some of you Indians. Bangladesh, 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 Nepal, 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 Bhutan, 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 Myanmar, Myanmar, Burma. All of that should be India. You know, I'm thinking like socialist, secular India. Blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. I am an Indian nationalist. I'm more of an Indian nationalist than all of you guys. I think Pakistan shouldn't exist. There's no such thing as Pakistani nationalism. I've never met a Pakistani nationalist. I don't think they exist.
Nice to meet you. BadEmpanada decided to share his thoughts on my country because of a recent conflict between Pakistan and India. Let me give you a taste of what we're dealing with here.
You might have heard that there was a bit of a spat between India and Pakistan.
A spat? Really? These are real people. People died. Families were torn apart. People actually lost their lives and livelihoods. And you're calling it a spat? A spat? And he says it again.
But I don't think that you guys see things that way, honestly, given your reaction to this whole spat with Pakistan.
There, he said it again. This is clearly not an accident. People were evacuating their towns. This is definitely not a spat. You know, we Pakistanis really don't like it when outsiders who are not even willing to learn our histories start moving us around on their geopolitical chessboards. It's disgraceful and really ugly, very short-sighted. If you can't help but share your opinions, like at least treat the topic with a little bit of respect. Seems like BadEmpanada doesn't believe that Pakistan is a real nation.
The thing with Pakistan is there's no such thing as Pakistani nationalism. As I said at the beginning, like, I've never met a Pakistani nationalist. I don't think they exist.
Huh. I wonder why he hasn't met one. Anyway, why does BadEmpanada think this? He thinks religion is the only basis for Pakistani nationalism, and that it is not a legitimate basis.
The creation of two states along the line of religion is the dumbest idea anyone has ever come up with. The Muslim League are horrible morons, in my opinion. They did everyone a horrible disservice by demanding it. I think Pakistanis know that their country exists largely for religious segregationist purposes, more so than to be an actual real country. And that's a shame.
I wish he just said, I think Pakistanis know that their country exists. I wish he had stopped right after that. Seems like Pakistani nationalism is an unknown phrase to our friend. Let's talk a little bit about our Indus Valley civilization. People living in Pakistan today are the descendants of the Indus Valley civilization. We have our own distinct identity and history, different from that of the Bharatis. Pakistan has Christians, Hindus, and Sikhs living here right alongside Muslims. They have their own places of worship. Even during the recent spat, Pakistan allowed them to visit. You know, the first Pakistani constitution didn't even have a state religion. It took us 26 years to get one. Why do we do that? But it's not just about religion. Pakistani nationalism is about our distinct culture, history, and geography. We are the people of the Indus. The word Indian was taken from us, so we adopted a better word for ourselves, Pakistan. The religious part of Pakistani nationalism is not to exclude others, but to protect ourselves. Just look at how minorities are treated in the modern state of India. BadEmpanada actually understands that India treats its minorities in a problematic way, to say the least. Here he is talking about our brothers and sisters from Kashmir.
The Indian government, the way that it administers Kashmir, resembles a military occupation. Obviously, having government like this directly administering a Muslim majority province, imposing effective military rule on this province, disappearing people, imprisoning people for petty like posting a Facebook video of a protest and stuff like that. You can understand, I imagine, how 40 to 50 years of oppression in Kashmir, followed by a 5-year period of direct military rule, I think you can understand how that would generate terrorism in response. I think it's pretty obvious.
He says this doesn't justify terrorism, but doesn't it validate Pakistani nationalism? He even says this.
And this is a government that is genocidal against Muslims. Make no mistake. By a Hindu nationalist government that is genocidal against Muslims. They are religious supremacists. They are terrorist mass murderers themselves. Modi was directly implicated in the mass murder of thousands of people. And he's not even the worst in his party. And that's saying a lot.
Seems like a good enough reason to be an independent nation. We definitely don't want to be genocided. So why doesn't BadEmpanada want to grant us Pakistanis our own nation?
I think Pakistan shouldn't exist. I think Bangladesh shouldn't exist. I think it should all be India. Actually, let's go further. Let's get Nepal in there. Let's get Burma. Wait, does Bhutan border India? I'm going to find out right now in real time. If Bhutan borders India, I'm giving India to them as well. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, it does. It does. Never mind. Okay. India gets Bhutan as well. It gets Bangladesh. It gets Nepal. It gets Pakistan. Myanmar too, obviously. All of India, meaning both nations, Bangladesh, and as I said, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, even half of China. All of that should be India. With both sides of Kashmir included, okay?
All right, so should we give Argentina to Chile? Or should we give all of South America to Brazil? Does America get Canada? What are you smoking? It's hard to know where to begin and where to end. A lot of people follow this guy and get their opinions from him. There he is, casually deciding what should become India just because it might border India and he's not even sure about it. I also like that he's the arbitrator in this. Kind of like a British lord who's come here to partition the colonies. You know, he's deciding our fate. Radcliffe at least came here once. To an arrogant outsider, it's just a fun game to play. What are we and our spat to him? So why does he think that all of these countries should belong to India?
I want all of these places just be one country. Everything will be better off. Like, ethnic country divisions are the worst idea ever. Just look at the Balkans.
I already explained that there's many facets to Pakistan. We have our own cultural, geographical, and historical identity. There are many different ethnicities in Pakistan. We also have issues with languages, by the way. You'll probably know that there are many, many languages spoken even just within India. And it's the same with Pakistan. Problems with that already exist in our countries. Just imagine putting India and Pakistan together with Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, parts of China, really? Just think about how the Tamils feel about the imposition of Hindi, or how the non-Hindi speaking students are at a disadvantage in India. Does BadEmpanada have any more reasons?
I want Pakistan to be united with India because ultimately we are brothers and this division is artificial. You know, I think everyone would be better off in one united secular state with equality for all and blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Not that I'm against Indian nationalism, because I consider Indian nationalism to ultimately be a sort of anti-colonial positive nationalism when it's secular, truly secular. So I'm more of an Indian nationalist than all of you guys. Because for me, the partition of India was a total travesty.
Well, BadEmpanada, we are more than just victims of colonization, and it's not just an artificial divide. If I'm being generous, I guess he wants us to become an anti-colonial, peace-loving, equitable, socialist union, but that is not reflected in his words at all. How does he expect us to resolve our very real disagreement without establishing justice? That is assuming that we even want to join into his make-believe union. I think I know where his resentment towards Pakistan comes from, by the way. Pakistan was leaning towards the Western Bloc in the Cold War. You see, in the late 70s, the Soviet Union and Pakistan had a bit of a spat that lasted for almost 2 decades. So maybe BadEmpanada is seeing red here. As for this union of peace and love, I would love to live in peace and love with our neighbors and solve our problems together. But let's not delude ourselves here. We've been at war far too long. Do you really think that people who lost their homes and their families to the other side will suddenly discover socialist solidarity with their former enemies? That's an unrealistic step right now. Could only occur to people on the other side of the globe. There is something else that is really missing from all this. By the way, why should it all be India? Why not say that all of these countries should become Pakistan or Bangladesh? I wonder if this question even occurred to BadEmpanada, or does he even understand the implications? He tries to distance himself from Modi and right-wing Indian nationalists, but he still ends up making this blunder. In fact, he barely even acknowledges any of us. His target audience is left-wing Indians?
So this is a message for Indians with brain cells. You know, not like the Hindu nationalists and the centrists who are Hindu nationalists but pretend that they're not. Rather, it is a message for Indians who come down more on the left. So I'm speaking specifically to those guys and no other Indians because I'm not going to be able to get through to the other Indians. Give me a break. But maybe these ones I can.
We can't really give you that break because that break spans around 500 million people. What's even the point if you see no way to make any progress on the majority of Indians? Actually, do you even have any Indians in your audience? Do you want to maybe share your analytics with the rest of us? And what about the rest of us? What if we disagree? Does that even matter? Are we even invited to the party?
All of India, meaning both nations, Bangladesh, and as I said, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, even half of China, all of that should be India, with both sides of Kashmir included, okay? Whether they want to be a part of the present-day Indian state or not, which is something that I think they clearly don't want to be in their majority, but, you know, check yourselves before you wreck yourself.
So we should continue ignoring the will of the locals and enforce something foreign upon them. That's what's happening to the Kashmiris and East Punjabis already. You're no different than the right-wing Indians that you denounce. You just want to do it in the name of socialism, don't you? And you say that in such an ugly way, from the comfort of your bedroom. You talk about justice, dignity, unity, while you bulldoze people who are already oppressed. People who have bled, screamed just to be heard. And you disregard them just to fulfill your smooth, polished dream of a socialist utopia. You are no better than the right-wing authoritarians that you denounce. You act just like them, talk just like them, same blindness, same arrogance, total disregard for actual life. You just want to call the occupation a liberation. Congratulations, comrade. You are what you claim to fight.
To be clear, I don't side with anyone here. I think that you both kind of suck. The Indians, unfortunately, lately suck more. Pakistan is its own hotbed of problems.
Is that all that you got for us Pakistanis? You would rather that we suck more than the Indians? Why is that? Where is this strange subconscious hatred coming from? If BadEmpanada wants to come in and help bring all these people into a united India, or Pakistan, is he willing to do the hard, laborious job of convincing people, even the ones that he is not aligned with? Will he bring them together with kindness and reason? Or is he just gonna make one reactionary YouTube video about the spat between us lowly people and then run away?
I consider Pakistanis to be Indian, just to be clear. Pakistanis are Indian. India is a massive country that is temporarily divided. I'm an optimist, okay?
You say that, but earlier you were addressing the lefty Indians and...
That is my message to the good people with brain cells of India. You are getting fewer in number, As time goes by, you are precious. We can't afford to lose you. As the Hindu nationalists recruit more and more to their cause, there are less and less of you. We need you now more than ever.
You also aren't willing to talk to anyone but the lefty Indians, as if others will never change their minds. What's there to be optimistic about? Where is the Avatar? Where is the Airbender? Where is Aang? It's been 100 years. That's it. Please actually consider the views of the people who are living here. Bye.